Sitaram, Sitaram, Bhajapiyare tu Sitaram, 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 Patita Pavana Sitaram, 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 Patita Pavana Sitaram.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you here this morning. I'm Reverend Stephanie Clark, and I'm presiding today in place of our beloved Reverend Kimberly Hawkins, who's taking a well-deserved rest. So I'd like to welcome everyone who's here today, plus the people who are watching on the live stream or those who will watch our service at a later time. I'd like to welcome any newcomers. Is anyone here for the first time this morning? Just put your hand up. Oh, welcome. Very nice to see you here. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, give us some applause. Thank you. So I'd like to acknowledge our wonderful musicians who you've just had the pleasure of hearing, Anton and Laura Miserak, and we're going to be talking later about their kirtan that they're... Did I get that wrong?
Laura Berryhill.
Oh, Laura Berryhill.
Anton Miserak. Okay.
Let's get that clear. This is Anton Miserak and Laura Berryhill. I'm so sorry.
I never knew.
Maybe I'm planting an idea in mind. Who knows? I'd also like to thank Carol, our practitioner, who's doing the High Watch today. Carol led a lovely meditation, and I want to just give Carol some extra praise because we talked last night and I wasn't feeling well at all, and Carol said, I'm going to pray for you. And this morning, I got my spirit back. I'm feeling a whole lot better, so thank you, Carol, for that. What else do I want to say? Oh, please, can you turn your phones off if you haven't done that already? So our beautiful flowers this morning are from a gift from Karen Jordan, who's one of our practitioners here, although not here today. And these flowers are in honor of Kathy Green's birthday. Kathy Green's our board president. Yay, Kathy. Happy birthday, Kathy. All right, so I'm going to hand back over to our musicians. Oh, I forgot to say we're a progressive spiritual community. So for those of you watching on the live stream, we're a New Thought community, and that's a progressive kind of spirituality. So we're going to, another thing I have to say, sorry. There's a box at the back for your pledge cards. So last week we gave out the pledge cards, and this is an opportunity for you to commit some financial substance to this organization, to the CSL Rogue Valley. So if you weren't here last week, please take a pledge card today. And if you were here last week and you've prayed about it and you're clear on the pledge that you want to offer, then please put your pledge cards back in the basket at the end of the service. Thank you. All right, so really I am now handing over to Laura Berryhill and Anton Miserak. And after this song is over, I'd like you to just hold your applause, and then I'm going to come up and do our opening prayer. So
Actually, first we're going to do the opening song.
Oh, the opening song.
Yes.
And then
this is a song where you all stand up and we get groovy.
And then we'll transition right from that.
We're going to energize and breathe, and then we'll settle
into a
down.
meditative piece.
Yeah.
And after that, we hold our applause.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for helping me with this.
So, yeah. It's okay. That's what we're here for. Thank you, Stephanie. So, would everyone please stand and we can do our opening song, which today is Rise and Shine, and it's got this, you may remember this from before, you can do Rise and Shine. And just a reminder to people to please turn off your phone ringers, silence those phones.
Right now, yes.
We've been hearing lots of phones this morning. Somebody's dinging and chiming. I think it's on this side somewhere. Everyone check your pockets, check your purses. Because when our guest speaker is speaking, I think we want it to be peaceful. There we go. All right, let's rise and shine.
Rise and shine, it's a new day, a different path, a different way. Bring your dreams of work and play. Rise and shine, journey to your destiny. through endless possibility. You cannot fail, your heart is free. Rise and shine. Here we go. Rise and shine. It's a new day. Rise and shine. There's a new way. Shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, there's a new way. Rise and shine, your inner light illuminates your path so bright. The rainbow's end is in your sight. Rise and shine, rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, there's a new way. Again. Rise and shine, it's a new day.
And it's a sunny day.
Rise and shine, there's a new way.
Now that we got you all breathing, just take a seat and you can use those deep breaths as we do our next song, which is a more meditative piece. We can just settle in, and after that we'll have our lovely invocation. I have to change this.
Thank you so much, and let's move into prayer. So flowing from that beautiful prayer in musical form, we acknowledge the one power, the presence of Spirit, the omnipresence, the omniscience, the omnipotence, that which is everywhere present, knows all things. It's omniactive, it's all-powerful. that presence shows up so beautifully as me and as everybody here this day. We are all individualized versions of that holy presence. We are all here breathing together in a divine symphony. We are all here lending our consciousness to that which wants to unfold here this day, to the magnificence of spirit revealing its holy face. And so I speak my word for our sacred gathering this day, for our sacred service, and know that spirit has most certainly gone ahead to prepare the way. It knows exactly what has to happen here. It knows exactly what needs to be said, what needs to be heard, what needs to be felt, what needs to be healed, and what needs to be revealed. It has prepared everything for each one of us, its beloved, individualized versions of itself, and for each one of us as a collective, as a community, as a joined unit in the service of the Most High. I bless everybody who has been a part of creating this service, the audiovisual team, the music, the musicians, the ushers, the cooks, the coffee makers, everybody who's had a part in bringing the service to its full fruition. I know that the work that is done here this morning is done well, that each one here is transformed, lifted up, expanded into new and heightened dimensions of consciousness, declaring that a quantum leap is taking place. So each one here is transformed in magnificent ways. There is magic afoot. I'm so grateful for that. So I give my thanks for everything that transpires here this day. I give my thanks for the divine outcome of our sacred time together. I give thanks for the Spirit moving through, as, between, and amongst us, releasing that which is no longer necessary, which no longer serves us, and bringing forth into the light our spiritual magnificence, our spiritual beauty, and our spiritual power. How grateful I am that this is all done now, that it's already in action in the law, and so I simply release this word and I allow it to be, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. So the reading this morning is, I've got a few paragraphs from a book by Joel Goldsmith called The World is New. I know I've got some Joel Goldsmith fans out here. You want to put your hand up if you're a Joel Goldsmith fan lover? Yeah, Joel Goldsmith lover, me too. So the theme today is tithing. And so these are Joel Goldsmith's thoughts on tithing. Sooner or later, we all have to learn the meaning and importance of tithing, because this practice carries us to our highest sense of gratitude. And gratitude is one facet of the vast subject of love. Tithing is usually understood to mean that if we give 10% of our income is given to some charitable or spiritual purpose, we will, in some mysterious way, have pleased God, and so we will be rewarded. Personally, I think that this teaching is entirely incorrect. There is no virtue in giving when there is any sense of a future tense connected with it. If our giving, whether in contributions to a charity, a church, or to a teacher, carries with it any thought that we will receive some benefit from it, it is best not to give. Giving should always be from the standpoint of gratitude for that which already is: health, wealth, happiness, and peace. We cannot get health, and we cannot get wealth. We cannot get happiness. We cannot get peace. Those things were established from the beginning. They are part of the divine consciousness, and they will unfold as our individual consciousness in proportion to our turning within for that unfoldment, and in proportion to our devotion to the spiritual sense of life. If we can feel a sense of gratitude for a spiritual message, or for the avenue through which that message has been brought to us, and if out of the fullness of our hearts that gratitude impels us to give our mite or our last penny, we shall find that there is no greater blessing than the experience of tithing. When it is the outpouring of sincere gratitude for the revelation of God as our individual experience, tithing is an expression of gratitude, and gratitude is one of the facets of love. But there is an even stronger law than that which goes with tithing. Humanly, we believe that our present income is the extent of our supply, and humanly, we do not know how to increase it. When we begin tithing, however, we know that our tithe is not coming from our income, but from God. It's God's support of the activity of truth in human affairs, expressed in human ways. Thank you. So now turning back over to the musicians. Thank you very much.
The door is open in this moment, and as I give, shall I receive. The blessings of my life are within me and around me to share, to support, to believe. Let it flow like the river to the ocean. Let it fall like the water on the land. Let it circulate in gratitude, the bounty of my days. Let it show that Spirit is at hand. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. The door is open to commitment, and as I give, shall I receive. The blessings of prosperity within me and around me to share, to support, to believe. Let it flow like the river to the ocean. Let it fall like the water on the land. Let it circulate in gratitude, the bounty of my days. Let it show that Spirit is at hand. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow.
We can applaud that time.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. Her name is Kathy Carley, and she's one of us. She's a member of the CSL Rogue Valley community. So most of the congregants here might know Kathy from her 7 years on the CSL Rogue Valley music team. Anybody remember Kathy from the music team? Yeah, lots of you know her already, good. And also she teaches money stewardship classes, and she's the creator of the creator of the Conscious Living Fair in Ashland. Anyone here been to the Conscious Living Fair? Okay, a few of you know about it, good. But you may not know that she also did a 13-year prosperity teacher training at Wonderworks Studio in Vermont, which is a school with a background in unity, science of mind, and Christian Science prosperity work. So we have a master teacher for our speaker today. As an artist and creative herself, Kathy loves to help heart-centered people grow their wealth and expand their giving. So Kathy's title today is Sure, Grateful Giving and Expanding Receiving. So I want you to join me in giving a warm welcome to our speaker, Kathy Carley.
Thank you so much, Rev Stephanie, magical sister. And thank you to Carol. Carol and Rev Steph and I got to pray in this morning, or they started a prayer that I got to join in, and I felt so supported and welcomed. Thank you so much. And thank you to our beautiful musicians. Love your work so much. And I know what it takes. Well, I'm so honored and grateful to be here to share about tithing. Tithing is exciting. And I know this firsthand because I don't have a boss except for God. I've been a conscious entrepreneur my whole life, which means I really need spiritual practice in order to make a living. So I don't receive a salary. I don't have someone who's regularly paying me. And so when I first started, 17 years ago, I started a career as a tantric dance teacher. Very alternative, very out there kind of practice that was really meaningful to me. I had learned it from a teacher and I wanted to share it with other women. It was a meditation practice for women's groups. And when I started, all of my prosperity blocks came up in my face. Who are you? Who are you to charge money for this spiritual work? You should do it for free. You know, these are my thoughts, right? All the negative thoughts came up around my worthiness and my lack of worthiness. And at the time, my spiritual coach from Wonderworks Studio, where I did my training, she said, "Are you tithing?" And I said, "What's tithing?" I didn't know about it at the time. And she explained how tithing worked, and I jumped in. 17 years ago, I started tithing 10% of my income, and I have not looked back since. And it has totally changed my life. And on an irregular salary, and my husband, Steve, who's here today, glad you're here, he also has a seasonal business. So despite the ups and downs, you know, I went from being a tantric dance teacher for 10 years, I was a music therapist off and on for 15 years, spiritual musician and singer, founder of the Conscious Living Fair, spiritual and practical prosperity coaching, right? All kinds of very alternative things. Despite that, we've managed to do very well. And I have tithing to thank for that's core practice. So how does it work? I know Reverend Kimberly and others have been talking about this for a few weeks because it's the conscious giving time of year. I love how she said from Toshi Silva's book, the idea of being channels for the divine. That's really what we're meant to be. That's really what we're meant to do. And for me to be able to do my conscious work, the work that I feel called to do, even if it's very alternative and outside the box, tithing has enabled me to go from making $8,000 a year, that first year as a stay-at-home mom starting a tantric dance business, to growing my income times 10, times 20 some years, and then also to be able to buy a home, have assets, all while giving 10% away and benefiting my community. So I'm just so grateful. And I'll share a little bit more about some of those demonstrations, as we call them, right? You know, we all want to have a demonstration. We all want to have a miracle. And what Reverend Stephanie was saying from the Joel Goldsmith quote is so true. You can't manipulate God. So there's a distinction there, and I want to talk about that as well. So how does tithing work? Giving 10% of our income to where we're spiritually inspired is the basic definition, right? And historically, the temples and churches also took care of the poor. So Steve and I give a little bit to charity as well as part of that 10%. But if you give all of your money just to a charity, like feeding a need, rather than giving to where you're inspired, it can sometimes backfire. And I have a story about that as well. I love Catherine Ponder's description of it. She says, give of your time, give of your talents, and give of your treasures. Reverend Catherine Ponder, she's one of the big tithing teachers. She's a Unity minister in her 90s now. Just a wonderful, wonderful source of inspiration about tithing. If you ever want to read her books, she has some great books on tithing, the most famous being The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. She says, if I could shout one message to the whole world regarding life's secrets, it would be this: that you cannot get something for nothing, but that you can have the best of everything when you give full measure for the good you want to receive. So yes, you can have demonstrations. Yes, you can have expanded receiving. Yes, you can have infinite abundance, but tithing needs to be done in the way that actually works, right? You can't do it in a manipulative way to say, well, I'm going to give here so that I'll receive, right? That doesn't work. You have to give out of your true gratitude for what's already been received. Law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. So as we're giving large amounts of money, that's what the universe says in return, is that, oh, you are a giver of large amounts of money, so I'm sending you large amounts of money. That's the basics of the law of attraction. When the tithe is given to a true source of spiritual nourishment, and it ups our sense of deservedness. So if we say to ourselves, oh, I don't really have it to give, you know, our fist is tight, right? If we say, I don't have it to give, then we actually don't. That's the affirmation that we're telling ourselves. I don't have it to give. And that tight fist means nothing can come in, nothing can be received. When we say, I have it to give, even if that's $10, I have a story about that, about a $10 miracle. So if we just have $10 and we open our fist to share, then we're open to be able to really receive what the universe has for us. I see among a lot of my clients the excuse of, well, I'm a tither, I give so much of my time. And then they're scrambling around for dollars to pay their bills, right? So if we want to have more money, we do have to give in like kind. We have to give money if we want to experience more money. Start where you can with any percentage. Reverend Kimberly was encouraging folks to start, with 2%, 5%. It doesn't have to be 10%. It was for me. That's what worked for me, was to jump in, just jump right in and do the full amount. But if you feel you can only give a little bit, then give a little bit. It's better to give than to not give at all. So I want to share with you some of the benefits that I've received, and I'll tell you about my miracle story, one of my miracle stories. So in general, Steve and I have experienced greater comfort with cash and circulation in general. When I first started, I was very uncomfortable receiving money. Very uncomfortable. I had a client want to pay me with a $100 bill, and I refused it. So then I began tithing, and I found that money would come to me in all kinds of forms and all kinds of ways, and I was a lot more comfortable with it. I felt more deserving. I'm much more cheerful about all my bills. Bills come, and I just pay them. I just know that, okay, everything's handled, and I'm big enough. I'm big enough to handle that. I also have had just a general growth of my income, as I mentioned, over the years, doing very alternative things. I also had this very amazing miracle, and I love to tell this story because it's so dramatic, and it really takes away the excuse of, oh, I only have a few bucks, I don't have much to give, right? You can give at any amount. So I was starting this tantric dance business 17 years ago, and I had a few months where I was starting to get stressed. Some business bills were piling up. I was starting a large program in Seattle. I would drive up every month with my kids, and they would stay with their grandparents, and I led a women's program up there. And I was enrolling this program. It was a high-end program. I think I charged $1,500 for it. And I had a lot of bills for this program, about $3,000 in bills piling up, and I did not have the income to cover them. And I was feeling a lot of fear about enrolling clients. This is another thing for you entrepreneurs out there. If you need to enroll people, tithing helps you to do this. So I remembered, oh, I haven't tithed yet for the month. And I went to go look at, okay, what have I received this month? Because I wanted to give 10% of that, right? Well, I had only received $100. So I said to myself, okay, I guess I'm gonna write a check for $10. This is back when, writing checks and putting them in the mail was really common. So I wrote a check for $10 to where I felt spiritually inspired. I put it in the mail, and everything changed for me on the inside. I went from feeling that closed fist, feeling fearful and tight, to feeling relaxed and open and trusting. And the next day, I had a $3,000 day. And I really believe that's because I felt relaxed. I did not feel the pressure to enroll anyone. I actually had some enrollment conversations with a few clients that ended up signing up for my program, but I didn't feel scared. And clients can smell the desperation. If you're an entrepreneur trying to enroll people for your work, you know about this. So tithing is a great tool for allowing you to be relaxed and allowing you to be comfortable. Steve and I now give away a large amount every month to various places, mostly to where we're spiritually inspired, and some charity. We tithe to various places. We can give to our spiritual center, and we do. We can give to counselors, musicians, teachers of all kinds. I was just, the last 2 years, you haven't seen much of me because I've been in the menopause cave. I've been really attending to my body and had a lot of low energy and just, really had to go within. And so I was tithing a lot to people who were supporting me one-on-one because my nervous system just couldn't handle groups. So allowing your tithing to be authentic for you, allowing yourself to give to where you're inspired as it changes over time. And it may change. So I invite you to talk with your significant other each month. Where do we feel inspired? Where do we want to give? So I have a little practice for you that I'd love to recommend. So if you are wanting to really explore more about what tithing is for you, I recommend you get one of those little tiny books at the dollar store or wherever, and keep track of what you're giving and what you are receiving. Because a lot of times we're just not aware of what's going on. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel kind of entitled. Like I don't notice the good that's coming into my life unless I have to really pay attention. So having your notes of what you're giving, time, talents, and treasures, what you're receiving, time, talents, and treasures. I just received a free service from someone that's worth $300 a month, and I'm going to be receiving that for 6 months. So I'm acknowledging that. I'm acknowledging what I'm receiving. I know Reverend Kimberly says that she, oftentimes if she receives a freebie, she'll calculate the value of what it's worth, and then tithe on that amount. So that's another opportunity. So I want to talk a little bit about the dangers of giving to receive. I know we touched on that before. The law is that you will receive, right? That is the law. So it's a little bit of a paradox, isn't it? It's like, yes, if you tithe, you will have big demonstrations and prosperity, but you can't force it, right? So if you are not giving freely to where you are inspired, then the gift can be a manipulation. And I found this out recently where I was using my monthly tithe. You know, I was experimenting with it, as I always do. I experimented with giving for a few months 100% to a charity. And what I found for me was that I was giving there, and the thought in my mind was, oh, if I give there, then I'll receive back. Yeah. And it was also a little bit of, oh, I'm helping those poor people. So I noticed that in myself, that those negative thoughts were occurring. And I also noticed that my income flow actually stopped. So it backfired on me. So that's something to pay attention to in your little book, or in your life in general, is notice where things are not actually allowing for flow to happen in your life. And you'll notice that. And then you can get back into alignment with what does feel good, or new alignment, right? I'm coming into a new alignment for myself right now, where I'm coming out of this cave-like period and coming back into the world and tithing to some new places. If we are not receiving the abundance we desire, it can also be because we're not tithing very much percentage of our income. So that's an opportunity. If you're giving 2%, I invite you to stretch a little more. Try giving 3%. Just see what benefits, blessings, and bounties show up from that. The great thing about writing your giving and receiving in a little book is it allows you to notice what you're receiving. As I said, many of us are unconscious or unaware. And sometimes we don't allow things in. I don't know about you all, but I'm a recovering codependent. So I find it a lot more fun to give. I'm more in control. To receive, a lot of times, makes me feel a little out of control. And I have to trust and allow and let it in. Also, when we notice and we're grateful for our receiving, then we realize that the law is working. We're more grateful, and then we feel inspired to give more. So it's a circle. So it's amazing. It blew my mind to notice the various ways we can receive, right? And a lot of times when we're locked into, say, a job or maybe a fixed income like Social Security or a pension, we think that's the source of our good, right? We get locked into this one thing. But God in the universe actually wants to send us money in all kinds of ways. Multiple income streams, windfalls, blessings, the freebies that come to us, specials, deals. There's so many ways to be receiving the benefits of the tithe, and keeping track of them helps us to notice. We can also give too much and not receive. I did this at one point because I'm just a natural giver, and I had started tithing 10%. I was getting such great results from it. I wanted to give even more, and so I started giving 20%, but I was not saving or investing for myself or my family. And then when I became a single mom, before I met Steve, I had left my first husband, left Williams, and moved to the Rogue Valley. And I decided I really needed to be taking care of myself and my household. I needed to save and invest. And so I started doing some of those stewardship things of stewarding the 90% that I had left. So I ramped my tithing back down to 10%, and I began to save 10 to 15%. And those are some of the things I teach. I talk about in my book, Give, Save, Spend. And I have some copies here if anyone's interested. Protecting yourself budgeting, having a saving practice, having an emergency fund, investing according to your values. Sometimes also, if we're not receiving to the level of that we're giving, it's a chance to more actively receive. Where do you feel resentful in your life? That's a good place to start. Begin to ask for more support. You can ask for more money if you are working. And for entrepreneurs, this is a continual evolvement, right? Continuing to charge what we're worth and ask for what we deserve. Asking to be compensated more greatly. Many heart-centered entrepreneurs don't charge enough for our work. So that's a very important piece to my heart, and what I love to help people with is to charge what they're worth. You can also be asking for more love, more support, more equality in your relationships, more reciprocity. Again, recovering codependent over here. I'm always asking for that. And again, if you're not fully prospering in your own life and you're giving the 10%, really examine your beliefs around, what am I worthy of? What do I feel I'm worthy of? Giving the full 10%, the law says if you are giving to where you are spiritually inspired, the law is that you will be receiving full measure for what you give. So you should be prospering, and you will be prospering, as long as you can receive it and let it in. So I want to wrap up now by just saying a little prayer. And I'll start with a song that you all may know. When I give to you, I give to me, becoming like God, who gives continuously. So we know that this spirit of giving and receiving is with us, is all around us, and is that grateful giving to where we are spiritually nourished. And we know that we're finding that authentic gratitude in our being for where we want to give, and giving and stretching how much we give so that we can give full measure. And we also know that this spirit of receiving is with us, receiving fully what we deserve and what we are stretching into. We are expanding our ability to receive even more. And we know we're one with this infinite flow of giving and receiving, both sides of the same coin, open to at the top and at the bottom, earth and sky. We're allowing the energy to flow through us. And we are doing our sacred work, what we are here to do, and we are fully supported with infinite abundance. We leave any manipulation behind. We don't try to manipulate God. We allow our true gratitude and giving to open us up. And then we allow the receiving to come from unexpected and expected ways. We allow it to come without trying to control the flow. And as it comes in, we are so grateful for it, and we allow ourselves to give back, and the circle continues. We know this to be true. We are so grateful for this law, the law of giving and receiving. We're so grateful for this center and how it brings people together of like mind. So grateful for all spiritual work that helps others. So grateful for our ability to be more aware of our giving and receiving practices. And we put this into the law, which says, yes, yes, Anything we speak, it is done. And so it is.
Thank you, Kathy. That was a wonderful, wonderful talk. So we're going to put a little bit of that into action and reflection for ourselves. Something new appeared on the order of service this week. It listed the song after the talk as a congregational. So we're not going to make you stand up, but if you know this song, please sing along, and you can mull over the points of the talk while you're singing the words. The song is "What Is Mine to Give?"
What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you.
Join us.
What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? I give it to you.
Don't you love how everything flows so harmoniously? The message, the music, the prayers, everything. So lovely to be here. So now it's time for our offertory. So I'd like to ask you to take out your cash or your checks, your tithes, your gifts, your offerings for this morning. And as I mentioned before, our pledge cards are available at the back. And if you've signed them already, you can turn them in right there at the entrance. I'd like to welcome our ushers to come forward. And once you've got your gift ready, and even if you don't have anything today because you give on a regular basis through the website or in some other way, that's fine. Just hold it to your heart right now. Even if your hands seem to be empty, hold your gift to your heart. And then please repeat our affirmation after me. Graciously I give from a place of love. Oh, okay. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And now it's time for our announcements. So, I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, but we'd like you to turn in your pledge card by the middle of November. We want every pledge card in before Thanksgiving. So if you've got one, great. Please sign it and hand it in. If you don't have one yet, please take one. This is the last week to order Christmas wreaths from Rowan Alec. He'll be taking orders in Bosworth Hall as part of a fundraiser for his HS snowboard team. So the cost for it's a Christmas wreath. The cost for a wreath is $27, and if you'd like a bow on that, then it's $32. So please support our youth team. Unity's prayer and metaphysical reading group is on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m., and there's a Tai Chi group with Joy Winscott at 11:30 a.m. There's this very special meetup event tonight. You're going to be able to enjoy Jean Hanna's art show and the band Blue Lightning and Kathy Green's birthday celebration. It's from 5, yes, Kathy Green. She's such a wonderful board president. We're so blessed to have her. She's a woman who always says yes, and she's got dynamic energy. She's wonderful. So we're celebrating all of that. Jean Hanna's art show, Blue Lightning Band, Kathy Green's birthday, and it's this evening from 5 till 7 p.m. at Bella Fiore Winery. So please contact Kathy after the service or sign up on Meetup to reserve your seat. And next Sunday, November the 5th, we're having a kirtan concert. So Mount Shasta's, Parvati is the name of Mount Shasta's premier kirtan band with Laura and Alyssa Neeram. The suggested love offering is $15 to $25, but no one will be turned away. And I'm going to hand over to Anton and Laura to speak a bit more about that.
So kirtan, if you have not experienced it, is call and response chanting. It's done in traditional societies all around the world. And kirtan in ancient Europe gave us two words that really describe it: ecstasy. You chant and get out of your way and just have an out-of-body experience. And enthusiasm. When you do that, Theos, God, comes in and re-energizes you and sort of reorganizes your reality. So that's what we hope to achieve next week, 12 o'clock here.
Thank you, Anton. Wonderful. Yeah, so hope to see you here next weekend. The next thing, there's a joint community meeting. So most of you know that this is currently a CSL Rogue Valley and a Unity joint community, and we're having a meeting on the 12th of November after service. And it's an important meeting, and I encourage you all to attend. We're going to be meeting as members of both communities, but we'll be voting on our joining together as one community and approving a memorandum of understanding regarding how we're going to operate together going forward. So if you can attend on the 12th of November after service, that's 2 weeks from now, that would be lovely to see you here. You can sign up for our weekly e-newsletter here in Bosworth Hall, or you can email us at cslroguevalley@gmail.com. You can submit any prayer request in our prayer box at the back of the sanctuary, or in the Unity prayer box in Bosworth Hall, or on our website. So when you submit a prayer request, our practitioners will pray for you for the coming week. It's a wonderful thing, and I, again, encourage you to avail yourself of that opportunity. We invite you to stay for coffee and soup in Bosworth Hall right after the service. Our wonderful chef, Michael, has prepared something wonderful for us. And let's see, can I ask the practitioners to come up to the front and to join us for our closing song? So these practitioners, they've all trained for at least 4 years. Did I forget something?
Men's group tomorrow, 1 o'clock.
Oh.
All males invited here.
Okay, men's group tomorrow, 1 o'clock, all men are invited. And I'm sorry, that's not on my list, but thank you for bringing that up, Alan. Okay, have we got our practitioners up at the front? Great. All right, so these wonderful beings have trained for at least 4 years to become licensed spiritual counselors, and these wonderful beings are available after service. So if you would like a 5-minute miracle, please approach any one of these beings, and you'll be able to sit privately with them and tell them what your concern is, what we'd like prayer for, and they will pray for you. So don't go out. Don't leave here without taking advantage of that opportunity. It's magical. All right, so I'm going to turn over for our closing song. Do I do the benediction now or after the song? All right, I'll wait till after the song.
Everyone, please stand. Just know how great you are.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
You are a light.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
Together we are a light.
We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine,
And we shine,
we shine,
and we shine,
and we shine so
bright.
We shine,
We shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we
we
shine.
So before we leave here, let's just another round of applause for our wonderful speaker today, Kathy Colley. And I want you to repeat after me before you go out there for your soup and refreshments. Are you ready? Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my affairs.
Life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I bless it.
I bless it.
And I claim it.
I claim it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
And just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woohoo! Thank you very much. See you next week. Thank you.